Hello, hello, hello. Greetings, awesome beings. How are we all? Thank you for joining me. Got a few of you here. I'm here by myself. Bernie's running late, asleep. I don't know. So I'm just going for it. So we're going to start alone, and Bernie may or may not turn up. So thank you everyone for being here. We've got Carrie Ann, hello. No one. Christina, hello. Benny, looking insidious anti-Mason. Sherry, how you going? Be Presence, UC, Amber, Kath, Zandrea, Steele. Oh, nice. You got a notification. Awesome. Amber, how you going? JJ Pegasus. All right. So I found a book we can have a look at, which is pretty interesting on Belgium. Haven't had a good look at it, but we're going to go through that and a few other bits and pieces, and Bernie may or may not turn up. But I think to start with, we should start with a joke. Where do you weigh a pie? Anyone? Where do you weigh a pie? Are you ready? You better get ready for this one. It's pretty good. So over the rainbow, weigh a pie. That's great. Love it. All right. So that's the dad joke over and done with. All right. Castler Who, how you going? Mountain Cat, hello. Big Kush. Redneck, hello. CJDB, hello. All right. OG, how do I say that? OG Cree war cry. Come on, who likes my joke, right? Way up high. It's great. And of course, there's been a lot of talk across the interwebs about a new site that people have been asking for, that they want launched. A lot of talk about it and rumblings. And I have found something. It looks like your prayers may have been answered. Look what I found. That's right. Only cams. It's there, guys. It's been launched. So if you want a job and your name is Campbell or Cameron, you can apply below at OnlyCams. There you go. What do you think? All right. So let's see who's here. Helder Fernandez. Hello. Who else we got here? Kiwi MacArthur. Justin. Hey. Be presents. So who's joining? Who's coming? I've got to get a website now. I've got a picture. The next thing is the website. There you go, right? My hair looks funny today for some reason. I don't know why. I feel like I look like I don't have enough hair. I need more air in my hair. Alrighty. Yeah, your name, OJ Cree Warcry. OG Cree Warcry. There you go. All right. So should we just jump into it and have a look at a book? This book is from Belgium. This one. So this is the Agreeable Gallery. Blah, blah, blah. Maps. Bells. Deuces. Oh, what's that? Empires. Blah, blah, blah. And this is 1729 publication date. So let's see what we've got. Pretty sure it is Belgium, isn't it? No doubt. Oh, there, Belgium, right in front of us. So let me zoom. We have Belgium. All right. So again, with the Phoenician water themes, here we've got the corner, the gosh, what's it called? Cornucopia. That's what it's called. Cornucopia. Scales of justice. The line, and these lines. What is it with these lines? We call them lines, but has anyone ever seen a lion actually even look like that, but definitely walk like that? Maybe he's been listening to Walk Like an Egyptian. I don't know. But this is 1729. And this place is, I mean, look at all the towns, all these names everywhere. It's completely built out. Oh, let's have a look. Do you want to have a look at this one? Is that the right way? No. Pretty boring. Let's go to the next one. I did see there were some good pictures in here. Come on, internet. If I get disconnected, by the way, because I normally do 5 minutes into a live stream, I'll be back. Whoops. All right, so here we go. The provinces of Pays Bass. I don't know what that is. Again, you know, very Phoenician. Here we have Mercury with his Caduceus pointing it up to the skies with the wings on the top. Lots of symbolism there, right? Wings on his helmet, wings on his heels. Mercury. And we know that you spin Mercury, right? You spin it and you get levitation. Very interesting. Here we have Trident Man. So that could be any sort of myriad. What are they calling him here? Is it Yah? No, that's a map. So it's Nimrod or any other name for a mergod. The Sea of Germany. All right. Nutzi. Wow, look at this, how built out this, again, 1729. Are these canals? Not really sure. See how some of them are open, like they look like canals, and the black ones look like roads? But I mean, look, this whole place is completely interconnected. Here we have stars around here. Here's some more stars. Here's some more, another one. So this would be a good map to overlay on the Googles of Earths. There's another one to find out where all these stars are, because look, there's heaps of them on here. There's another one over here. Most of them are probably, you know, cities like that. Like, is that Uruk? But like down here, they had around the rivers and things. Where were they? Like these ones. It'd be interesting to track those, and these little ones here. Up here's another one. So there's actually heaps of them. And then these towers, right? Now we always see the cities. They always draw the cities like this. They're towers, right? Like they've always got a tower. Is that, you know, to do with airships? Is that telling you that that's, you know, that's a place we can land? See, they've always got this tower. That's as far as I can zoom in. But see, you know, on all these old maps, the towns are always drawn with a tower and a spire. So very interesting. But yeah, just star forts everywhere on this. There's another one up here. They're not that starry. So there we go. All right. Next picture, please. Holland. The land of canals. So actually we were up here on Google Earth a couple of weeks ago with Bern, and there's star forts ever up here. But again, with these towers, right? And the bigger the city, the more towers there seem to be. But why towers? Is that, what's this little circle with the flag mean? Airport? Don't know. Interesting how I can't see any stars here, but I know there's a star here. There's one around here. There's definitely some around down here. But they're just drawn as cities. But again, every single one, right? These towers. Towers. Just wondering what all these broken lines are. Do they go from city to city? Are they air pathways? All right. Bit of a picture of a sophisticated walled star city again. And, you know, people just, you know, fishing with nets in the river. This big juxtaposition we see all the time. Massive cathedrals, of course. Always walled cities, always the water, the canals. We still see this today all through Europe. And, you know, sort of Ukraine and Russia and these kind of areas. Here we go again and again with these massive oversized cathedrals. And clearly these are, you know, these are you know, they look like, you know, they're pre-designed as a whole city and built as a whole city, don't they? They don't look like they've sort of been built up randomly. Man, there's a lot of boats down there. Oh, here we go. Here's the Star City. So this is, I don't know, I'm a Star City. Amsterdam, Amsterdam, oh my gosh. 1585 we are here. Okay, wow. I thought it was 1700. 1585. A lot of boats, completely designed, built out walled cities with man-made canals all the way through them. Again, huge cathedrals. And it's interesting how they always draw the cathedrals, because clearly there'd be other houses and stuff in here, but they're not drawing them, so they're just drawing the important bits, I would think. And who stole the crown? People who came across the ocean, maybe? Who knows? And of course, I mean, look at that picture. I mean, you know, the Christian cross, right? It's a boat mast. Okay, another star. Probably the same city. And, oh my gosh, see, look at the build out here. What dates? I'm going to assume this is 1500s, but look at the build out. All these houses, row to row, massive cathedrals, man-made canals. But I mean, how big is this city? And you can't have that many people living that close together, you know, without having proper sanitation and sewerage systems and all this kind of stuff. But then we get this story that in the 1800s they were still, they hadn't worked out sewerage. They had this thing called the Big Stink all around the world because they were pumping sewage into the canals. But they had it sorted, you know, a couple hundred years earlier, which is a little bit strange. I mean, look at this stuff, and it just looks, you know, to get a wall like, you know, that sort of symmetrical, you know, obviously it's not perfect, but, you know, it's not built, you know, it's not like they build a bit of the city and a bit of the wall and then a bit more. They've built this as one thing, you know, especially with the canals going through it, all these canals, cathedrals, of course, sitting right over the canal. Got to be near the water. And cornucopia again. Phoenician, what's this? She's wearing wings. Look, they're like strapped on. Or he, she, no, she. It's hard to tell these days. I mean, what is a woman anyway, right? This dude blowing his own horn. Fluvius. So, I mean, very Phoenician, right? Here we go. We've got a merman, a couple of mermen offering up cornucopias, bountiful cornucopias from the ocean. Interesting. And again with the trident, they always try to make a dent, don't they? Bit of war. Maybe this is how they took it over. Who knows? Dragon flag. But I mean, look at the amount of boats here. Wow. But I mean, again, this is the side view now. I mean, so look at these structures. Again, this is just dated that the last picture had 85 on it. So this is Amsterdam, the capital of Holland. And look at this place. And again, this is what we see on the maps, right? They're drawing these towers, but what were they used for? What really? Obviously, a lot of them, we think we're drawing down free energy, but were they all? Because these ones, with the balls on top, they look like, and these, the spires look more like antennas, but this has got a door at the top, or a window. It looks like a door. So what's going on there? Oh, hello phone. This one too, another opening at the top. I wonder what the etymology of church is. Here are some Amsterdam locals. Well, oh, okay, it's a hand warmer. Cool. And she's got a she's a very handsome lady. And look at that hairstyle, man. Woohoo. On the old Princess Leia. Afro Princess Leia. And this dude, oh my God, isn't he a cool character? He's got the hair, so I'm giving him the tick of approval. He's got some cool threads on too, and he's got the hand warmer again. Wow. So it's pretty cold up there in the land of holes. All right, sheep. Sheep fart. That's Vaart, guys. Vaart. Sheep fart. Amsterdam. And just, yeah. Bit of a storm. All right, so here we have complex designs, right, of one of the cathedrals or buildings. Probably not a cathedral, this one. They're normally drawn a bit differently, and we get these a lot. This does have, I'm not sure, I mean, they may be measurements. That may be, I don't know, I don't know how that would be a measurement. But they're not architectural designs. These look like the drawings people would draw showing what they found. They're not architectural. And there's no information in, you wouldn't draw these to show to someone who you're going to build who wasn't an architect. They don't look interesting, and they've got no technical information really. It's a bit strange. You would show to someone who wanted to build a building, because that looks cool. And again, right, with all these statues, there's some people ready for an airship. And all these, what's with all the statues? And of course, we know these were pretty much on all buildings, because we still see them randomly around the realm, but we've also got all the pictures of them ripping them off and smashing them up. So what was the deal with the statues? I mean, were they markers to what the building's function was, maybe? Who knows? Especially when they're gods, and these guys ringing a bell. They're trying to tell us something. And a bit of a cutaway. And again, a balcony on the roof. Why? Like, is it just to look at stuff? Or is it, these hooks, like anchor points maybe? Because we've seen the airships anchoring to the Chrysler building and the Empire State Building. I mean, they anchor on balls, but, you could anchor to this. Maybe, I don't know. Speculation. And That would be what we would call a mud flotter, I guess. Here's the ground level. Here's a door. Clearly halfway up the wall. I mean, that goes in at the roof almost. Or is that a window maybe? Okay, it's a window, I think, and they're showing light, which means that that's probably prism-like because see how it's angled. But underground, right? Underground. Whee! All right, here we go. Look at this. Day in the life of Amsterdam. All right, first one to spot a giant wins my appreciation. I mean, I thought there was only 3 musketeers. I mean, look at this. There's musketeers everywhere here. I feel ripped off. Someone's spilled all the beer. That's not good. So, I mean, what is this building in the middle? It looks, this doesn't look that churchy. It all looks like they got beer. It looks like they're using it as a pub. But look what's on the roof. Look at this column. Here we have Neptune again. And this ridiculous massive steeple with an antenna on the top. More here, that looks like a crown. Up here, I mean, well, that looks like they're not people in the cages, are they? Has AOC been around here? What's going on? See these things? Maybe they're like ancient. Remember those, like, didn't they in the 60s have girls that used to dance in cages or something in pubs? I don't know. Wasn't alive then. Yeah, so there you go. Look, even the old style pub, how they used to have like the little coat of arms out the front, the lion and the toad kind of thing. So there you go, day in the life of Amsterdam. Well, some pretty cool. And this, this step up thing you still see a lot around this area. This is Holland, Belgium kind of area. You in fact see it, all across the realm. But look at this one. It's very ornate, isn't it? I mean, we still see this kind of stuff everywhere. But I'm not sure what this facade was for, because clearly it's not the roof. You can see it's just like a thing to look cool or for some kind of function. And these drawings as well, they're all just lines. Just lines. Right? Like, how do they do it? How do they do it? Tunnels underground, pyramids. Look at this. Top of an archway there. Oh, I just heard a beat. But I'm continuing my book, so if that's burning, you're going to have to wait for me. Look at this crown. Oh, look at that Carduceus. It's alive, man, with feathered serpents. That's pretty cool. So the wings up here, they're here. This cherub has a cool necklace. Isn't it funny how necklaces aren't actually lace? It's not that funny. I guess they used to be. Oh my gosh, we've got a merman. He's been skewered. Poor merman. And again, way too many musketeers. Maybe they're just sorting out who are going to be the 3. Maybe it's a duel. Who knows? I wonder if anyone's ever had a mono. Tried to fight themselves. What do you think? Wow, look at that.
And look at the onion on top. It's just like
Oh
it looks like the same ones that are on the tops of the ships that used to light up.
From the ether. Hey, how you going, Bernie?
Good. I figured, I interrupted your solo show at the start or the end of my day yesterday, so I'll let you start with Only Cams with Cam to begin the day.
I do, but Did you see that's been launched? The website everyone's been waiting for. I'll have to show you. But check this. I mean, that is a really cool steeple. And again, oh, is that a ladder? That's not a fancy staircase. That's a ladder for some reason. But why? And again, up here, why is this little balcony here and like doorway things? Like, why are people going up there?
Doesn't make sense.
Look at the size of this place. Doesn't make sense. Oh, got fruit on his head. Same building again, but I mean, God, is that, no, it looks metal. Is that a gravestone, a random grave in the street? It's a bit grey.
Nothing makes sense there.
Oh, construction photo.
Just a pile of ladders.
Why not? Maybe they're looking for Jacob. Tengeli.com. What the hell? .com-y? Oh my God.
Makes you really wonder.
And look at this glass, and this is just one in one building. Look at this glass window. All right, look at the size of that. Just one. Right, and this is the size of the people, right? So probably about 3 of those. That's probably a tall person to there.
I don't think those ladders will quite make it up there.
Yeah, that's why they're all piled up, because they keep getting them not too short again, and they just throw them in the pile. Hey, I mean, come on. Apart from the, how, but why? And it looks like a bloody.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. The why, like with the resources that would take, it makes zero sense.
Well, look what's on the ground.
Check on it, like they're standing around in mud.
This guy's pushing his little wooden wheelbarrow up there, right? These guys are sitting in the mud, but they built this.
You think they might
really?
put a clothesline somewhere in there instead of having to hang their clothes to dry on the fence in front?
Build a chair, maybe? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, right. I mean, look, they can't even work out how to build the top of the table. So they're not doing well. And again, look,
they have shovels there. They're breaking ground, Campbell. They're breaking ground. The construction's just starting.
Breaking ground. Oh, okay. This is a funeral. Oh my God, we're making fun of a funeral.
Oh my God, it is.
Horrible.
Oh, we are assholes. Look at that. We are mocking
the dead body, and these are holding their hats down. Whoops. Sorry.
Okay, so that's the funeral. Where's the rest?
100 years ago.
How come that's the first person being buried in there, though?
Exactly.
There's no other
Where's the graveyard? Yeah. Exactly. What's going on? And why is this a wooden picket fence to around this massive masonry antique building? I don't even know what's going on here.
Wheelbarrows.
It's like a Coles shopping trolley or something. Got left there. Okay, so I guess now they're running away. They've had their burial. But again, this dude's just got his ox and his whip and stick, and he's just walking around hitting it. He's a farmer. But look at these buildings that someone built at some point. But we don't have an explanation for it, but they try and tell us we do, but we don't really. Just chickens in the street. I mean,
we don't see the mud flood in these times either, like on the windows as much, like in some of the drawings. It'll be interesting to see if other of the drawings actually show mud flooded windows.
Yeah, a lot of it seems to appear sort of late 1600s, early 1700s. In the cities that we look at, but I think there's also what we call ancient that are more mud flooded. So here we got the canal. Oh, yeah, this canal is not flooded. That's got a nice flush man-made edge on it, but clearly not built by these people who are sitting, just with, no technology at all. Got the little stalls. Well, this guy's worked out how to make fire, so that's good. And then at the back, it's not really level out here, but it's kind of a bit muddy, but it's not really what we see, where they're half buried. And what are these people doing? They like making piles, don't they? And then, oh my God. Oh, I thought it kept going out of the page, but it doesn't. It's just a really bad crease.
Proving it is from a real book.
It is from a real book.
Like, look at that. What the?
Okay, here we go. Look, we got a wire. Now, do you think there's support wires there?
But what's there to the right
wires.
there? It looks like a giant tuning fork.
This thing, yeah.
Like, what the heck is that thing?
It's just randomly on the roof, I think. That's interesting, isn't it? It looks exactly like a very fat tuning fork, but...
Very strange.
I mean, is it on that roof? If it's on that roof, it's very norm, isn't it? Again, just, there's pigs and, just farming in the street.
Oh, look, there's a trap door going underneath that place. It's like half the size of the guy standing next to it. Yeah, what is that?
And the few down here.
Yeah, see, this is looking mud flooded here.
And all these people, it is a bit, and all these, but no one's looking very, educated, right? We've got a few farmers here. These people are just kind of, eating and sitting and stuff. But, these people, they haven't even got wheels, man. They're just dragging stuff along the ground with their horse. But in the background, you get this. So who's got the skills to build this? Clearly inheritors.
Indeed. Like, yeah, it's like they're building with wood.
They're
on mud.
That's metal. That thing there is metal.
Like, what would be the purpose of that?
How are they casting that?
And why? Unless it was a working light.
It's interesting that you cast metal, isn't it? Witches use metal cauldrons. Oh, did I just stop sharing? Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Sorry. I'll go straight back. Hello. All right, where were we? I've got to move this. All right. Oh, here we go. Architectural designs. Oh, drawbridge between buildings. What? What does that mean? Why would you have a drawbridge? Does that mean that's
to let the giants in?
Oh, I'd let the giants in. Daniel Stalpayet, architect of Amsterdam. That's not really an architectural design. What's on the roof? What do you reckon that is? I mean, that's clearly, we see these all over the place, right? And they tell us they're sort of, star map type things. You see them everywhere. And
that's like a gyro.
Yeah,
it's a gyro.
Gyroscope, yeah, right.
And it's like, are those mercury balls in it as well? And there's two of them.
There's definitely
so
one above, one below, one in the middle.
Yeah, if those were filled with mercury and that's a gyro, you could have like a crazy freaking plasma mercury going on in there on top of your antenna.
Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, here we go. Cannons.
Pew
What are
pew.
cannons, man? Pew
But what
pew.
year is this supposed to be
Pew
from?
pew.
So I guess they came
1585.
from like
Well, in
1650.
here it says 1700, but the first picture said, oh, okay, this one's saying 1800. Okay, maybe it's given, what? No, 1729 is when it was published, but the first picture said 1585
Okay, so there's
on the
some
actual
older ones
book.
mixed in with it.
So,
And you see that
yeah,
red
but it looks
stamp
like one
there,
book,
right
doesn't
under
it? I
the
mean,
drawbridge? That is that the red
oh, yeah,
stamp there? Yeah, you see these in all the
H&R,
old official books. That it's like
or is it
stamped.
R? And
Uh, the Da
is that,
Vinci
oh, that's a
ones.
face, is it? Is that a face?
It could be.
See the H&R block and they're after tax money, or it's R&R and they're just saying, just relax, just relax. Yeah, yeah.
That's
Well,
fun.
well, this is but yeah, it's a stamp as well, which is interesting. It's not,
But
they
what I
want us to believe they were
recall
just
is
using wax, right?
when we went through Leonardo da Vinci's ones a little while ago, that they also had all of those red stamps in them. And it's like, was this what was allowed to be published, sort of thing? Like, that's the
Yeah,
government
yeah,
stamp. And
I
then, like,
get ya.
where's all the drawings that don't have the stamps on them?
But didn't have the, yeah, yeah, exactly. Like someone's just going through the stamp, like yes, no,
Like,
yes,
that's a
no.
crown. That's actually a crown. It looks like a crown. So that's like
It
the
is, yeah, that's
on
yeah.
top.
You can see it there. It's the royal. So that'd
Exactly.
be.
That's the
I was
royal
trying to
stamp
think.
that,
Is there a
okay, we've
royal name
allowed this to
that's
be
R?
leaked or published.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically, it's got the stamp of approval, man.
Exactly. That's literally the stamp of approval right there. The royal
The
stamp
stamp of approval.
of approval.
Yeah. Okay, this one was allowed through.
Look at the
But yeah, how's
Antiquitech on
this
top of
aerial,
that one.
right?
Oh, it's the ship on the anchor. Huh. Now it's like
Interesting, eh? Bit
easily
of
can.
branding as well, a bit of logo, I think, in that, but it could be
Yeah.
functional
But that
too.
looks like the rebrand afterwards. Like, look at how generic this building is
Yeah.
compared to before. It's like, was this when they came in and
Oh, yeah.
re-facaded
Well,
it
that's a
all?
good point too. Well, that's a good point, and maybe that's what a lot of these pictures are, because a lot of these pictures, they're nowhere near as ornate as the actual buildings. Are they like, this is the
Right?
stripped
Like,
down picture? This is what we're going to turn it into.
exactly, the royal stamp of the new facade. Boom, this one's a jail now. Boom,
Yeah.
this one's your mailbox now, or your post office. And
Yeah. Yeah, like literally, yeah, you can keep the facading on the front. This will be a post office. This will be a museum. Leave the statues. This is a jail. Strip everything. That's yeah. Here we
kind of
are. Here's
seems
some
the
hooded
way
beast. Oh
it
my
is,
god, what's
right?
going on
Like,
with that face? Isn't it a bird? Is it a crow? Like a bird?
yeah, that is definitely a bird mask. The Birdman. The
That's a bird.
Birdman is in charge
Yeah.
right there.
And these are all the
Are they all
nobles hiding
wearing
their
masks,
faces.
or are
No, they've got these veils on though, not on their
yeah?
hats. Apart from the plebs down here, who
So
and then there's
Thoth is
these
still
balls
leading at this
everywhere.
point in time. Thoth is still in charge at
Yeah,
this point.
pretty much. Look at this guy. Woohoo. My gosh. And I mean, look at the fat. Look how the clothes. Look how much they wear and how ornate everyone's clothing is. Like, who was
Right?
making all this stuff? Who was making it? Because it's all custom made. It's all fitted. This chick's stolen someone's crown. Oh, that's got like a little antenna on the top.
It does. Like, is that a
Here
child
we go.
or was that?
Dates. 1675, J675.
Yeah, it's also 5435. It said above it.
Yeah, I know, right? What is that? Menahem. So that's another calendar, which is probably the Jewish, I would think. Which again,
But
right? So
regardless,
yeah,
they're like,
so
hey,
it does
there was a
we don't
J
know
time
anything.
and it was 504035 M something, and we were still being ruled by a duck or a bluebird or something.
Yeah, it was a duck named Donald, apparently. But you see these, like, don't you? These scepter type things, walking sticks, and they've always got these balls
Yeah,
on the
the
top or a
orb on
crystal or
top and
something in
stuff.
there. Mm. So it
Maybe
looks like
even
a
could have been
meeting,
some
doesn't it? You got all the commoners down here, and the church is the government, basically, by the looks of it.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's like definitely that was their ruling committee right there.
Here's some more pew pew. Oh, look at these balls.
Yeah, I just
They're
noticed that too.
weights, man.
What the heck
Dumbbell.
is that?
And this one's got a
That's
hole in
something
it, like
different.
it's had the bit taken out.
But look,
It
they're
is.
connected.
Same
Yeah, all the
over
other ones are
here.
connected. They're like barbells.
Yeah, barbells.
And then plugs.
What does that mean?
That's something else.
Yeah, well, yeah, right. Isn't it? Barbells. I mean, maybe you just
Very.
have to lift these a few thousand times before you can attempt to lift this. But yeah, no, that might be a clue to what these were, right? Because cannons don't make sense at
Oh,
all.
exactly. Especially the ancient ones. Like they're nonsensical. Oh, that looks mud
Some of them
flooded too.
just look
Look at
like
that.
machinery.
Go back to the windows there,
Is it?
Campbell, at the very bottom.
Oh, yeah, right. It is too. Nice pickup. And this is Johannes Thingboon. Sculpts it. He sculpts it. Who sculpts it? Johann sculpts it. So it looks like it's trying to say this is a design, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
with windows half under the ground. And doors, by the way, that don't look like you can get through them.
No. I'm gonna
Star
just hook up
City.
the
So
other
we go
computer here,
Star
so I'll
Wars.
let you take it over. Oh, for a
All
minute.
right, no
That is
worries.
Mad Star Fordish.
Harlem.
And
Harlem?
look
I
at
didn't know
all
there
of
was
the
a Harlem
canals.
in.
That's all water canals. Look at the detail
Yeah,
of it. You can see that each of the streets is actually like watered canals through there.
let's have a. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, we got. Hang on, let's see if we can find it here, an inlet. Okay, so yeah, all the darker stuff is the canals.
Yeah,
And look, it
exactly.
goes
Look at that.
underground, pops out here. So it goes all the way through that way, up through there. And of course, oh my God, that is the oldest looking cherub I've ever seen. Here we've got to do with a hat, and I don't know what he's doing. He's fishing for something. Oh, windmill. Don't know, man. With a bolt of linen and a star city, Harlem, right? Harlem. I didn't know there was a Harlem in Europe. And here we have a side view again, and it's this same thing, right? Look at this little wooden bridge with a little wooden. They got the design right, the shape right. It's just bits of wood. And then in the background we get this. All right, and even this looks like it's flooded here, doesn't it? Don't know. Oh, okay, it's a canal. It doesn't look manicured, right? Like the rest of this city looks. Again, look at that. Just antiquitech everywhere. I mean, look at this stuff. And this is, where are we? Oh, this is Harlem. Harlem again. Maybe we'll see Arnold, because it takes different strokes to build the world, in case you didn't know. But again, all these bits of broken wooden fence and these little wooden doorways, it's just silly, right? Even in here, they tried to fill the gap with a bit of fencing, but in the background, these massive masonry constructions. The double-headed eagle, which I need to research more, but it's, we do see it on a lot of Tartarian maps and things. So it seems to be a Tartarian symbol, and obviously if it was, it's been usurped at this point. Look at this moon, it's very Islamic, all crowned. Oh, it's a bit 666-ish, isn't it? So this is that. De Graaf en Hoog, Himrad van Vinland. Am I good? Hey? Can I move to Holland? I always said Deutschland, Dutchland. How come Dutchland isn't Deutschland? Very close. Okay, what is that? A swan or a stork or something? Again, these, belfries, right? Doors and windows, stairs up. What are they for? More cornucopias. And this, we see the same iconography everywhere, and this scrolling stuff, it's everywhere. This stuff again is also instruments, right? The end of a violin is that, and all the string instruments like violas and double basses and all that. And here we have a star. It's the star of the show. Oh, this is Naarden, sorry. Again, massive oversized cathedral, huge earthworks. This is all water. So these are what they, told us when we were growing up were moats. Is all this outer stuff. And that finishes sort of rather abruptly there, so I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, this one's still there. You can still see that, and I believe that's, there's still people living in there. Basically, it's still like that. This is Muiden, and just a small town, star town. All right, but still got their big cathedral, oversized, got their star wall, and they've got their little star citadel with their king's castle with the moat. That actually looks like we were told every castle was, right? Castle with a moat. But of course, they don't tell you about all the other stuff it's connected to. And what are these? It's just showing farming, I guess. They're farming cows, horses, beasties, and again, stamp of approval. Oh, wow, that is a very big erection. And when I say that, guys, don't be rude. I'm talking about this cathedral construction in the middle. It's huge. I wonder who did erect it. This is Wisp.
Just massive.
Massive. And if there was a mountain around here, the top of it would be called the Wisp Peak.
That's Wisp Peak right there. That's the peak right there in the middle.
Oh, okay. You got to sit on top of this. This is the Wisp Peak.
That's the Wisp Peak.
A rooster on it. That's what we speak. There you go.
But just
This
look at the
is okay. You can read this one. This is yours, Bernie. What's this called?
Mana Chodamvi. Mana Jidikadama?
That's a you.
Mana
Monocodum.
Chodamvim. Mana Chodamvim.
It's no, it's Mona John Claude Van Damme. Come on,
Oh,
get it right.
duh. Why did I not get that?
We're near Brussels, so I think that's definitely what it's called.
But like, just look at the intricacy of all of the canals everywhere. Like that's a canal going
Just look at the
separating
size
the
difference. These are the houses, right? These are 4-story houses.
Yeah.
Look at the
And they're
size
dwarfed
difference
to that.
this. So clearly, this isn't a church, right? It's a machine. But yeah, look at all the canals. So we've got all around here, yeah. So it comes in, down through there, then back down here, loops around here, down through here. And then like under here, they've got lots of these bridges.
It would also explain why most of the rivers like are so canaled out, and that they have like these, what I've noticed are the same as Tesla valves engineered into lots of them to control the flow. But for like flood season and stuff, it's like they had to have absolute control and prevention of that, or every single house would be underwater every single flood season. Like the technology and terraforming and water control that would have been involved in all of this is so much more than what's being acknowledged or given credit to.
Well, this looks like wetlands.
Yeah, so that would be their flood area. Yeah, see, so they've already engineered those wetlands
but it also means there's water there. So if it wasn't controlled properly, they would flood, because look how close, it's not like there's not a gap between the shore and the water level, right?
Yeah, and like the canals on every
it's pretty
street.
much right down there. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the whole thing would go under. So, and that's what I think I mentioned it yesterday, is the whole Starfort's big pumping station, or some kind of valve. Not the cities, but the stars, the citadels.
Yeah, the batteries.
Yeah, the batteries. Yeah, I mean, now here in this little bit, we've got some. Did they build these or get these to try and get the water under control? Let's look at all the balls on the top of this, man. Look at that.
Very strange. Like all the side canals and stuff. Those aren't roads, those are waterways.
Yeah, everything. This is all done. And again, look at this. You got this, big construction, a doorway, gate, and then this little wooden. The next one's just a bits of wood. Like completely different construction, like different people. But yeah, even just out here, like look at all the water is running out to the fields. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 canals just there.
Like, how did they build that without any sort of like engines and power, and like just on man and animal power? Yeah, right. Like you would have needed leveling equipment, to see. Like, look at how it just.
It has to be perfectly level. If you've got that much water,
it would have had to
look what happened
be for
to
all
Venice.
of those canals to run. It had to be all level. Like it's.
Yeah. And if it's not running and flowing properly, then it all stands and gets stagnant, and then you got a massive disease problem.
Yeah, or dries up or floods everything. Like it's just.
Yeah, it's kind of
perfect system.
It's really good if it runs well, but if it doesn't,
yeah, it just crashes and collapses.
It's a big issue. So here we go, a square, completely
Wow.
surrounded in a nice moat. And this looks like a orchard, right?
Orchard, yeah. Like, look at
Is
that
that,
park there,
and
the
then fields
garden.
out here. And
That looks like a
yeah,
computer
this, yeah,
processor. Like, this is like a macro chip. A massive macro chip is what this looks like.
yeah.
And why would you put your
And
resources
like, so
into
what,
making a giant macro chip?
again, why would you make this? Like arches, but there's no roof on this. Like,
Right?
what's the function of that? Right? But, and like, even the way it's gated, see how they got these gates in the wall? One at the center,
Like,
that's just interesting.
and is that water or is that garden or like what the heck? Like it makes no sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Like what's stone
I
and
don't
what's
think it's
what? Like,
water, but what is it? Yeah,
right?
like
Like,
what is it? Because these are clearly fields,
yeah.
but this is drawn different. And look, the whole thing, like this. Look at the orchards go the whole way round, right?
Like
And
it
then way
looks like
out
a
here.
massive macro
So
chip.
yeah, it does.
Like in
And so
today's,
is this water feeding this? Is this a farm, like basically a farm, right? That this is the water that feeds it, but they're using these chips to somehow enhance the current, right? I don't
yeah.
know.
No, that's what it would have to be. Somehow increasing the
Who knows? Like,
EM fields of it.
I'd have to work out what this is and what it would be doing. Is it transmitting or receiving or holding or
Right?
um,
Just bizarre.
but it's interesting. I know, right? That's not how we build farms these days, that's for sure. But it looks pretty, like a pretty good design.
And like it's more than just for the
Porters and
beauty
everything.
aspect of it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, with that one, no one could see this unless they were in an
Yeah,
airship,
you'd have
right?
to see from above.
Yeah. So it's kind of pointless, from a beauty standpoint. Oh, here we have the holy bull and the lion. Roar! The lion that doesn't quite look like a lion. Eat him, eat him, eat him, eat him.
Indeed.
And here we have, you see this a lot, the old A sound, A-E,
Yeah.
A-E.
Look at like
And then
all
again,
of
we've
those
got,
canals throughout around it.
yeah, all
And
the way
and
through
then
the
going
middle,
through
we've
the
got
city itself.
three big
But just
ones
the
and then
field.
sideways.
Like we
But I
don't
mean, look at
farm
this.
like
So it comes in here, it goes around the edge, and look, these are all canals going this way.
yeah,
Like every second road is a canal.
exactly. Like
And then you got three going this way. So everyone's living within, a block of the
a
canal, basically, aren't they?
exactly, a block of the canal. It would have been their major infrastructure for like boats going around doing the milk deliveries. Essentially, every city was like Venice.
Yep. And we've got our orchard here, and look, we've got these. Is that supposed to be
Like,
swords? That looks like a
like
coat of arms,
sacred
doesn't it?
geometric gardens. Like,
This one? What's going on? Because this
indeed.
one you can kind of envisage, okay, they could, plant out like that, have a fruit trees and have their crop. But what's going on here? And here.
Yeah,
And look at this. Look at this. What's that, you reckon, just to get down an elevator to get
38.
down to that level by the looks of it? Number 38? Oh, it probably tells us 38. Where's 38?
Yeah.
38 is Gayengenhuis. There you go, Gayengenhuis. And look, this is awesome. Look at this. So they've built this whole city, right? They've built the canals and everything. But this dude's got his cow or his horse pulling his boat down the canal.
And yes, like there's a comment,
God.
Lou Acker, asking maybe all the canals go back to the time of Atlantis, and that's what we're wondering is like, are these star cities, the maps with the J's in front of them, is it actually not the 1600s as we suspect, only 400, but that J represent a different number from millennia, and that in fact these are maps from a
Age
completely
number.
different era and time frame pre-reset.
Like an age, like Gemini, if they spelled Gemini with a J, sort of the age of Gemini. And Atlantis, it could be. There's Old World Florida has been doing quite a bit of work on is America and Florida Atlantis. Check out the ports in here. Look at this construction. What are these? Are they building boats around here? Look at this.
Yeah, that's definitely.
It's a boat construction
like
line.
Dry docks. Those are dry docks.
You got the wood here. I think they're building them. Look, you got wood here, and then it looks like they're sort of in different stages of construction.
Yeah, those are advanced dry docks. That is then. Each one of that is a dry dock. They would have flooded it once it's built and
let it in. Yeah, right. And then look what we have here, right? You know, sitting on a base that looks like it's bolted into the star, and you know, probably has a big shaft going down into the water or something, right?
Exactly.
That could be the mechanism that floods these.
But just look at how the boats all go in and the docks and everything. Like, these were global seafaring like societies, like hugely everywhere.
Yeah. Well, look at this. This gate here clearly had to
drawbridge.
You know, get out the way some way because they're getting boats through there. So yeah, some kind of drawbridge. But look at the gatehouse they build. What the hell? That's what you do, you know, when you've got time and wealth to spare. It's like, let's just do let's just do that.
This is insane.
And of course, these are, these cavaliers we see everywhere. Got some cannons down here. Of course, got to defend against the orchards. They might come walking in. Here's another one, another windmill. So again, is that part of the pumping station? And what do I see up here?
Look at that big water wheel there. Campbell, zoom back in behind the that windmill.
Down here?
Yeah, and then up a bit. Up from there. Right there. Look at that. Big water wheel. No, corner. Right, to the right, to the right.
Oh, there. And right outside a cathedral.
Like just giant double wheel there.
And look, there's a dock in here. Yeah.
Like that's massive water wheels on the canal.
Well, look at the size of it. I mean, this is a cathedral. I mean, and these are, what were these? 3-4 story houses. It's
so that's got to be 3-4
It's huge.
Too. Crazy.
Massive. And then these ones out in the field are obviously different.
Another water wheel right there.
Function. Another water wheel. But again, these are right on the canals, right? These water wheels. And see how this one's got this different base, which is the same as the ones that we saw, like these.
Yeah.
They look a lot more machine-like, where these are just sort of towers. So what's going on? I mean, and these could literally just be to help the flow of the water, or they could be using the current flow of the water to get free energy, right?
Oh, exactly.
There we go. Got the old horn. And look at this wall out here. Look at this seawall.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And out here, look at this. What's that, a viewing deck or a lighthouse without a light? But I mean, just to build these seawalls in, what are we talking, the 1600s? I mean, how? And look.
Just,
Oh, no, I thought that was a windmill. That's a boat.
yeah.
But, and again, right, they have all this, right? They've built all this, masonry and docks and dry docks and inlets and drawbridges and all this stuff. And then out here, someone's just built a little wooden wharf. And it's like, come on. What are you doing? But yeah, so there's, I mean, look at the infrastructure just in that and that's not even a big city. That's Horner, Voghorn,
Right?
which is obviously
And the
we got
amount
a
of
horn up here.
shipbuilding they have
And we've got
going on there.
The unicorn. Do you reckon a unicorn's just a really frustrated eunuch? The eunuch horn? Horny eunuch? God, that's not a very good fate, is it?
Indeed.
Do you reckon they get
I'm just gonna run to the washroom quick, Campbell. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Phantom limb? All right. I'll tell myself jokes and everyone else who's in chat that I can't see. So I hope you're all still there because I'm just looking at a screen with pictures and talking, basically. Here, I mean, look at this place, guys. Look at this. And look at this tower in the front here. Can you see that? Of course, it's got a ladder going up there, but can you see that's a tower? This thing? I mean, oh my God, look at all the flags. This place is going off like a frog in a sock. Wow. And again, look, they're all built out on the water, and these are all docks in here. Like this is major construction, like moving construction. Another big star, man-made docks in the city. Everything, right? The canals. Who have we got here? 3 Fish, 2 Star Lady. On Chusa. Okay, so here's another harbour with a few boats, little boats docked. Some kind of fence in there. Oh, here we go. We've got food growing, and again, these fractal gardens that, what are they? This kind of could be a garden. These are clearly trees, but what's all this stuff? Like drawings in the ground, but again, you can't see this unless you're in the air. So, like that could be a planting of a garden, but this is clearly a drawing, this one. That's just bizarre. South Ketton. Like, is that what? So I think they've all got rugs for their backyards, right? Well, here's the market. What's going on there? Oh, their houses. Okay, that's water, and these are probably warehouses, I guess. But pretty cool, hey? Here's the Westerhoofd. And here's the Oefterhoofd. The Oefterhoofd. Yeah, this is just very, wow. Of course, mark a stamp of approval. But yeah, look at this. I mean, they wouldn't even conceive of building a city like that these days. Look at the massive onion dome here, right? Which we're told is Islamic, and this is up in the Netherlands somewhere. I don't think Islam people say Oefterhoofd, that's for sure. But here we have it. And then look at this massive tower. And look, more of these gardens. They're everywhere. What's going on? We're missing something big here. The Latins, the fractals, like they had something going on. Again, look at these harbours, man. These are just unbelievable. This is Medemblik. It's West Friesland. Oh, okay. We're probably up near Friesland. Nice. Frisia, the Frieslandians. on the Orlinda. Here we have more dry docks. Look at this. It's like a production line, right, for boats. And of course, these it's just all wood. This dude's got an axe. That's all hand tools, just just people and hard labour basically. But again, look where they're doing it in this man-made style with man-made canals and harbours and islands and oversized cathedrals with onion domes with a cross on the top and these water wheels again. Look at that one. It's just, there's a big juxtaposition, shall we say. And is it taking a long time for me to get through this book, as it seems to be? Maybe I'll have a look how much we've got to go and I might say hello.
It's a fascinating one, though, and it's well worth the look because
it is.
it documents how intricate the canal system is, and that they were utilizing both the water wheels and those windmills for kinetic energy, kinetic mechanical power everywhere. And then, look at these elaborate geometrical gardening systems and layouts and stuff. Like, clearly there was a science to growing and to like the geometry of energy and water, and that they included it in a high level and degree of their agriculture and their infrastructure everywhere.
That's just insane. And again, the water. Is that a bit of land? I think it is in the middle of the canal.
Yeah, 100%. That's land in between.
It is. And then up here we've got some kind of more dry docks or something.
Yeah, exactly what that would be.
So clearly, I mean, this has to be all masonry. If this wasn't masonry, it wouldn't be there.
It would erode immediately.
Clearly. Yeah.
And that's another key part, is all of those canals would have, this entire cities would have to be on like a masonry infrastructure, like or foundation, to not erode with all of the canals and the water everywhere.
Yeah.
And for the dredged out for the ships to go through, like that's so much work.
Yeah, they have to be deep as well. Isn't it? And so you can see this is all self-contained, but then we've got canals heading off here, maybe to the farmland, and then we've got a big one down here, which is probably how they get travel out to cities and things.
So this is a good point. The magnetic field was much stronger in those days, and that they're saying like Earth's magnetic field is at its weakest point right now and like getting weaker than it's been in like centuries or millennia or whatever since we've been studying it, and that plants directly respond to the electromagnetic fields and grow from EM radiation. And if they were magnifying it with the water and somehow charging the water magnetically through that geometry, it probably would be giving them those increased crop yields 2 to 3 times.
Indeed, yeah, that was pretty cool. So there you go. That was the end of that. I'll drop the link in the chat if anyone wants to check it out. If I remember, I'll put it under the video later. So there we go. Wow, hour and a quarter already. So, but yeah, that was pretty cool, hey? So, hang on, an error occurred. Oh no, it went under Burncron. So there's the Gallica link, and that's a good site if you're looking for those kind of books. It's just Gallica, GALLICA.fr. It's French. Go there and you can just do searches, and it will search in English, but you can also, if you search in French, you get a bit more specific.
So results. It's a French-based
go and
site.
Check it out. Yeah, but it's all old maps and old books.
Yeah, and like from the legitimate and like French libraries and sources and stuff. So it's like, it's just stuff that's essentially the colonial English, the Anglo-Saxons had wiped out across like America, North America, South America, and the French and maybe the Germanics kept a lot more of this history after what I guess the World War One and World War Two were the real resets of switching over the narrative from uh, catastrophism and Atlantis into this new YOLO, we're the best ever, nothing else has existed before us mentality.
Dude, we're so intelligent. We can make furniture that you can throw away within 2 years, and we've got better ways of killing each other. So I mean, come on, I think there's a lot to be said. Hello, how should
Yeah.
we say hello? Kawakeb, Astra, hello. Sherry Ives to Joy now, how you going? Joy, of course, is answering the emails for me. And I was going to call her by a name, but then we figured everyone just calls her Joy. So maybe we'll just call her Joy, and she can be like an alias, like a superhero. Get her a mask, I think. Oh, so yeah, did you hear about the You've heard all this talk about this new website that's coming out, Bern? That everyone
No, I have
wants.
not
You know,
yet.
there's all this talk, and people have been looking for it, and saying we just need this website, and I think I might have found it. What do you reckon?
Oh my god, that was amazing. Oh, that was
It took me
amazing.
ages to get in that pose, hey. Like, yeah, it
Oh,
was
I
hard to get
bet.
in that pose, get the shirt off and everything, but I think I pulled it off.
I think you did. I think you did. Only cams. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so from now on, anytime we get a super chat, or Campbell gets a super chat or a YouTube donation, we're gonna have to bring
No,
up the
no,
only
I'm not.
cam,
No, I'm not doing anything.
the only cam. No, you gotta at least flash that only cams website meme, 100%. Uh, oh man.
As long as you don't start saying I'm going to take my jacket off, I'll be happy.
No, no, no. Just flash the meme for the
Put it back
cat.
on. People will start
Yeah,
paying. You go, no, I'll give you money. Put it back on. Put it back on.
exactly. You pay, he'll take it off.
Please
You'll
turn the
pay
cam
more
off.
than to put it back on.
Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll just come out here naked, and then people will just pay us money to get dressed again. What do you reckon? Could be a good
All
way for an
right?
income.
Exactly.
Reverse OnlyFans, man. You've tried OnlyFans, now try OnlyCams. That's right. The cover up has begun.
The cover up has begun. Oh man, that is good. That is good. Oh dear, Sherry's gonna hack PayPal, so you have to stay naked.
Oh. I don't know. Well, for a special donation, Sherry, maybe I'll get some chocolate sauce and pour it over my pectoral muscles or something. What do you reckon?
Oh my, that's gonna be only Cam's. Oh, why can't I think of the
Only
name
Cam's
now?
desserts.
Patreon. Only Cam's Patreon.
Only Cam's Patreon.
The
See, Mr.
chocolate cam. The
Mythos. Mr.
chocolate
Mythos.
cam.
Choco Cab, yeah, man. Mr. Mythos, I've heard of that name. Who is Mr. Mythos? I have heard. I have to start writing these down somewhere so I've got a list because I actually need to still sort out this Friday. Oh gosh, I'm so behind at the moment, but got a few things in the mix. Hopefully people will be free. So what's his name? Mr. Mythos. Let me write
Yeah,
that
I've
down
heard that name
somewhere.
too.
got somewhere.
I think pretty good work, but I need a refreshing.
You think what
My
works?
memory.
You want one?
I,
Mr. Mythos. Cool. All right. Alrighty. Thunder from down under. David, how you doing? Average American hire. Make American guitar again. I agree. I think you should make American guitar again. Lady Tam Tam. Oh, Lady Tam Tim Tam. I thought I said Tim Tam. Go have a fight. The chocolate ladies. Coriander. Aha, nice. Coriander. Nice. See that one? Kick down. Did I stutter? Cow cam. He has a series about stories traveling to the center of the earth. All right. The center of the earth. Well, I have to see about that one. Is that like it's in the center of
the center of the whole.
what? Like is it like Hyperborea center?
Exactly. Or Agartha, the Admiral,
Agartha, yeah.
like the Admiral
Admiral
Byrd
Byrd.
stories, and so much more.
Tim Tam's Rock. I'm Kairos. How you going? Welcome. Another good channel to check out if you haven't already. I am Kairos. And who did I mention before? I mentioned the channel before. And whoever it was, you should go and subscribe to them. And I've forgotten who it was. Oh, Old World Florida.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
Yeah, he's done some
You don't
good
mind
stuff.
coming
Did you
over
see the
there?
one where he was showing all the stone anchors and stuff?
I have not. I've heard about that, but I'd love to take a look.
Uh,
Do you mind loading it
They're
quickly?
everywhere. That was bizarre. Like, how you just like walking into people's front gardens and stuff, and people had these big stone anchors as like garden
Yeah.
ornaments.
Well, and
It was
supposedly they
weird.
marked like in the swamps and stuff. There's all sorts of old Roman canals and stuff, and that they had these stones as like markers for like what street you were on and stuff like that. Just crazy. So, are you able to load up a little
Weird
video of
stuff.
that? I'll take a quick.
A little something. I am. I also found a book, which is called something. It's actually called something a bit more interesting than something. What's it called? Have I got it here? Oh, maybe it's on my other computer. I have to find it, but it's got all these old stuff from the Americas, you know, like all that kind of stuff they were finding in like swamps and stuff, like Egyptian sphinxes and stuff, and all these weird, you know, alabaster carvings and mummies and giants and pretty stuff. So I'm going to find that out and maybe read bits of that out on some videos. And yes, everyone, let's play a game. Can you see what it is? Is below the video, there's two thumbs. Let's see if everyone can click the one that's pointing up with their mouse. It's a dexterity test. If you can click the one that's pointing up, then you win. All right. Roman around the world. Roam if you want to. And just remember, the imagination is the best nation to live in. America is ancient. There's a good channel called America is Egypt. A good channel who goes right into that. And the other one is, what's his name?
Scott
I'm just
Walter,
trying to
America
make you
Nerd,
think.
or
No,
no?
I haven't heard of him. No, he always says, I'm just here to make you think.
Yeah. So
Name's on the tip
I
of my tongue. If I poke it out and try and read it. Yeah, on the tip of my tongue.
it will come.
No, too
It will
small. All
come.
right.
But
Dan Colloway. Dan Colloway, right? Something like that. Dan, yeah. Sorry,
I got a
Calloway. Calloway. Yes.
Callaway. Yes, yes. And I will. I got an email. I was talking over Twitter. I have his email. Harry Hubbard finally for our American is America Egypt part 2. Finally, I'll
I've
get that.
always wondered, is he actually married to Old Mother?
Harry Hubbard married to old. That's funny.
Sorry. Do you reckon
Um,
I should use that joke on him when we interview?
Depends how
So,
it
Harry, when
goes.
did you marry Old Mother?
Old Mother Hubbard.
if you want to,
Halfway
if you want
through.
to end it quickly, I'll bring the joke out.
Dane Calloway. Is that the name?
Dane Calloway. Dane, that's it, Dane. Yes, thank you. So
So
what are we
I'm
looking at
showing
here, Mr.
here.
Bernard?
Yes, this is a clip from my last year of the coil update video. This is Mike from Space's project here, and it's getting massive over Unity as well as some anti-gravity. He's also written a unified field theory of electromagnetics that I'm going to be posting the book for and doing another update with. And so he went first in it's quite the very complex system that he's got here of triple solenoids going up. But it's kind of like a
Is
mix
that
of
color
the
coded? That's not
yeah
for metals, is it? Or is that that's
no
just
yeah color
positive,
coded
negative, or?
positive negative and
Right. I'm
and
busting. I'll be back. I need to run to the toilet.
oh okay. And yeah, so I slept through getting Gerald and Jeremiah back on or on with us tonight, so we will be doing that one probably next week. But this is a clip of Gerald's work, WPG Enlighten for Truth YouTube channel, and they're currently working on the hover coils as well as oh damn right Benny Riley, these are the guys that are doing it. They're designing these hover coils and these anti-gravitic coils that literally going to change and revolutionize our transportation and what we are able to do. And another thing, during this year of the coil stream that we were doing, every time Gerald and Jeremiah started talking about testing the coils on growth, on plant growth, and how we exposed the seeds to the frequencies and it increased the growth rate of it, they kept getting cut out. So I'll play a clip here, unmute it so you guys can hear.
300 different coils, and not all of them worked. Just so you guys are aware, actually, a lot of them crashed and burned, but you know, it was a way of learning. And I don't know. I don't know really where to start. I mean, I guess I could start with me. I'm a bit of an inventor. One of those backyard kind of dealies. I got into coils when the internet, YouTube just started to blow up back in 2008. I had a different channel called The Wisdom Walker. I used to converse with John Bendini once in a while, and I used to watch him and Russ Grease. And, I did lots of Tesla's different experiments. I've built Tesla coils. I've built lid motor circuits, jewel thief circuits, you name it, I've played. I love to invent. I love to experiment. I love to see things blow up at the same time. You know, you got
Key part that he said there is the jewel thief circuit and also John Bendini's designs. John Bendini is now passed, but he was a very intelligent inventor and over Unity designer, and that Mike from Faraday has also built some Bendini motor designs, and like many people, it's pretty standard now, the Bendini motor design within the free energy community, and that it's gets several times over Unity proven time and time again. The Rodin coils, yes. So Gerald here, I'm going to show. He's worked on and built several of his own different types of Rodin coil, or these vortex coils. Try to get a clip of it here, of his video of some of those Rodin coils. The problem is that they seem to now be getting censored all across YouTube, from the Daniel Nunes channel and their PoE Vortex Rodin coils, all gotten taken down recently, as well as Jason Verbelli's channel and his electromagnetic coil research. And yeah, every time, even in this live stream from last week with Gerald and Jeremiah, they kept getting their internet randomly disconnected several times during the stream. And I'll play a segment here that should demonstrate where we started talking about the food growth and that they would get cut out, and we were somehow being attacked, whether it was like service of denial attacks or what it was. It seems to be a topic they really don't like getting out there.
And I have a function generator that will be pulsing at 7.83 hertz square wave. I will turn it up to 5 volts pulse. This is the magnetic field that's showing now. This is the other EM field. I don't know if I can, oh, it will show it. All right, it's data logging that data right now. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn it up. I'll leave the EM field meters exactly where they are, just to show you how much of a field this could produce at 5 volts. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll show you the tri-field meter. I'll show you the data log. I don't want to get too close. It shouldn't even be that close now. All right, let's switch it to an EM field. Let's switch it to an RF field. Remember, this is pulsing, so you can see the pulse in the RF field. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, so unfortunately, he got kicked on his end. His connection just got cut, and my guess is that his internet might have been taken out. Again, this is something that's happened before multiple times, and I'm not sure if he will be able to get back online. I'm hoping he can.
Hey, can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
A big part of me thinks that what we're doing is changing the universe in the same way that this transmutation thing works. The universe doesn't like it, and it fights you. And this is not evil from anybody. It's just the universe doesn't want to be changed. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just throwing it out there.
I mean, you said it's what? It's you said a word there. It's what the universe is?
I'm saying that the more I get into this, the more I realize that I'm actually going to be able to change the universe in an unnatural way. And the universe doesn't like that. And it fights me.
Well,
I'm pretty sure. I mean, this is just a thought. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying it's a theory I believe in, but I'm saying I'm kind of thinking it could be a theory.
I guess I would say, as far as these systems go, you can try to force things in an unnatural way and force your way into these categories. But ultimately, I think what these systems reveal to us is that they're operating on a...
Oh, you're breaking up. Or is it me?
Jeremiah, you still there?
You see what I'm saying? The universe doesn't want it to happen, maybe. But that's too bad, because we're sentient beings. And clearly...
I disagree.
Or someone...
I guess I should pause the talking. I get Frankie's point there. I think it's more the parasites, the negative entities that don't want us breaking through, and the powers that be trying to do everything they can to prevent it, but that the universe does want this to happen and us to evolve and come together and build this stuff. And that's just my 2 cents. Jeremiah, are you still there, man? Or did we lose you too? Are they taking down both Gerald and then Jeremiah? All right. Well, while we figure out these technical difficulties and hopefully get Gerald and Jeremiah back on, here is another one of Gerald's videos. Come on now. Is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Loading the loading video. Sorry, everyone. We got Jeremiah back. But yeah, this is an example of how they kept back cutting their feeds to us during our stream.
I just got kicked off, so we're going to go ahead and reestablish the connection again. I guess it doesn't matter how many times we get kicked. We're going to go ahead and try to force this through anyways. And
I started out in 2005, roughly.
Man, this is the perfect time for me to talk about.
Somewhere in between there.
My, I should cut this off. Hang on. Let me mute this real quick. Things are getting messed up.
I gotta say, in the beginning, none of it worked.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hopefully everybody can hear each other again. We're back online.
I'll bring Gerald back on in 30 seconds, just letting this play first.
So
and
did this
hopefully
one.
the sound works.
This one, well, this one did something a little special we'll get into later. This one here was an attempt at, well, there's aluminum wire in there, so it was kind of a, well, it was a different sort of a test. I wrote everything out, but it didn't work for shit. Pardon the expression. This one worked, had a unique feel to it. Does a couple of things I'll bring up in the near future. And this one here didn't work at all. It was wrapped with galvanized steel wire and copper. And the outcome that I was shooting for was a type of a heater, and I did not get it. And I've built all types of coils. So here's a Starship coil. That there's a Rodent coil. In the corner there is a Powers coil. This one here is my version of a Powers coil. This one is something entirely different that I built on my own, as well as that. And that little one there. That medium-sized one there. And they get smaller. That's an old Jewel Thief circuit, or at least wrapped for it. And those two coils are identical and unique in their own fashion. And there was my first attempt at a Tesla coil through a lid motor circuit. And a failure it was. But hey, we all have to learn somewhere, right? All right, so this is just a small taste of the coils that I've built in the past. And I've built a whole lot more. But this is all I can show you at the time. All right, everybody. Have a great day.
Yeah, so let's head back. Hopefully audio is still working here.
Gerald, are you there?
A few questions.
I'm back. They don't like me.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's okay. We love you.
You got kicked your mic. Awesome. I love you guys back. You guys rock. I'm telling you. They cut my internet right down. Like I had to oh wow, it's crazy. I'm telling you. But what do you do?
Keep on doing, man. Keep on kicking it back on and fight the power.
We're all looking for the same thing. We're looking for the key that unlocks the molecular bonds, the infinite energy structure that governs our universe. We're going to find it. I'm telling you, we're going to find it.
Man, I couldn't have said it better. That is exactly it.
So that being said, these coil systems that are bifilar and fractal, they do something that's really neat. they allow you to capture the back EMF. My coils don't heat up. When I'm using them, they can heat up if I'm pumping mass amounts of energy into it and not pulling it out.
But as long as the energy basically stays cool.
Well, see, there's a fun part to that too. I'd have to bring up the experiment. They don't have it sitting in front of me. But I was using a 12-volt battery, and I was using a joule thief circuit, and I think I was pumping it at 432 hertz. Might have been 528. I could be wrong. I'd have to check my notes. But the back end, the secondary, was hooked up to a polypropylene capacitor, and then from there it went to a 1,000 watt electric element. Those little like stove elements that you'd use in your kitchen there. It's just one of those portable ones. I had it hooked up to that for a load, and I got half my power out. And so I was using maybe 2.5 amps on the input, 12 volts, and I was getting out at least, this is an estimate, I'd say about 500 watts heat on that.
Yeah, because if that element is heating up, that's a really low resistance element. It has a very small number of turns. It's not generating light in the visible range, just black body radiation because it's deep into the IR. And just to be able to heat that up, if you took that 12 volt 1 amp power adapter and you connected that thing straight across the coil, you would basically be loading that power adapter to the maximum of its ability. Its 12 volts would drop way down to maybe 5 or 6 as it
sorry, it gets a little technical.
But nevertheless, in this case,
I was trying to get to the point that we're still watching Year of the Coils there, and it was demonstrating how Jeremiah and Gerald kept getting kicked off. But I was trying to find the point where they started talking about the growing the seeds and the food under the different EM fields, and how it increased how Gerald just exposed the seeds for only 30 seconds to his coil and the frequency, and then grew identical seeds compared to or next to the ones that were charged, and the ones that were charged grew 3 times as fast and the size in a short period of time as the regular ones that weren't charged. And that was just 30-second exposure to the field of the coil. So we could imagine what it would be like.
I'm raising I've got some seedlings in at the moment, so I'm just going to put like little bits of copper, just arch them across like little sort of antenna type things, and do it on half and see if that makes a difference. And of course, something else you can do with seeds is put them under your tongue for a minute before you plant them, and it basically integrates your DNA into the seed, and so when that plant grows, it'll be specific to you. It'll basically be have all the stuff that you need to eat, all the stuff in there, the vitamins and minerals.
That actually kind of makes
that's
sense.
definitely where,
from my understanding of
it's the same as a tree, right? And that's what a tree does. A tree, like, if it's deficient in anything in the soil, it'll send its roots down and find what it needs, pull it up, so it goes into the leaves, and then drop the leaves on the ground, and then what it needs is then in the where the feeder roots are.
Right. Yeah, like there's so many good experiments to start doing with this, and that I encourage everybody to, and that we'll be doing at least monthly episodes on it, if not like every couple of weeks or something, or weekly updates as we start doing it, where I'll do some with just like my monoatomic water and regular water next to each other as a control. I'll set that up here in the next month or so. We'll do some winter growing experiments for me here in Canada under like the lighting and stuff, or indoor lighting controlled conditions. So it'll be as scientific as possible with the controlled lighting and all of that, and temperatures and everything. But then also, after I do an initial one with just the colloidal waters, then to start doing some with these coils and the EM frequencies and all of that stuff. And then I will also, I guess the next one I'll set up is, it'll be a control of regular water seedlings, a one with the monoatomic water, and then I'll also try one with the oxidized blue diatomic water and see if it actually like does negative and harmful poisoning to it, or how it affects it as well, because then there'll be three, a good, very good control experiment for the blue oxidized diatomic metals. And actually,
Nice. And
I think
there's a few
I
things
might
about
even
peeing on
add,
trees, and yes, it is good to pick. Oh,
dogs do it all the time, right? They mark their scents. Are they mixing their DNA
well,
with
they
the
do.
trees and all the other
Yeah, well,
animals?
who knows, right?
If they pee on
There's
a
lots of,
tree, does their
nitrogen and
aura
all that
go
kind
into
of
the
stuff that
plant's
trees like.
aura?
Oh, here you
The
go.
energy
So
mixes.
magnets, another good one. So C's on the north side of a neodymium magnet.
Yeah,
Neodymium magnet.
exactly. I
Yeah.
should try that one
And then
as well.
young.
And then another one I might try is also watering with microwaved water. So it's like I'll start with the same tap water, and one
Oh,
plant will get just the straight
God,
tapped water.
man.
One will get that water charged with
Me.
monoatomics in it. One will get the water charged with diatomics in it, and one will get the water microwaved and then going through the microwave process. And then also possibly if I
And
do the
yeah,
magnet
allegedly,
water.
there's a few people into urine therapy, but I haven't tried the urine therapy myself. But I saw the video where Dave he was really sick. I think he got some fungus. He bought a van and it had like black mold or something in it, and he just couldn't get rid of it. And he was in bed one night, and he reckoned he was like literally thought he was going to die. He just went, "Help me, what I need," did the sort of final call. And he said he just got the urge to pee, and he was laying there in bed, so he did a pee, and it went straight in his mouth. And then he went to sleep and woke up a few hours later, and he was fine. He said he was pretty much healed. So there you go. That's a story of weed from allegedly Dave. So, but there's obviously a lot of urine therapy talk, but I haven't tried it myself.
Yeah, and that's with
maybe
with
we
my
should,
mono.
right? Because apparently it's bad to take this out of people.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be putting it in them.
But so it's like the urine has a certain amount of your amino acids, and that's where it's coming from, the health effects of it. That's like your same resonant DNA sort of thing. But so do like your
Doesn't
blood
it also
cells,
have stem
saliva
cells?
cells. Sorry?
It doesn't have stem cells as well?
I think so. I think that the stem cell itself is the amino acids are like a part of that cell, or like that same structure of this. I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna have to check on that. But from my understanding of it, that there's like the basic amino acid structure that is your DNA, that it will it reproduces on
So
the
that's the kind of
cathode
thing.
side in my electrolysis reaction. So it's like you can use either a small amount of your urine, a small amount of your blood, a small amount of your saliva, or some of your hair even entangled on that cathode side, and that any one of those biological cell structures being introduced to it into this alchemy electrolysis reaction will then start reproducing the identical DNA slash amino acids off of the cathode side of it.
Well, it's the same as the seed, they talk about in Anastasia. It's the same theory, right? That it's the, should we say, resonant DNA, that it has all the information in there to heal the vessel where that DNA came from. So it's pretty interesting. But of course, this is experiments, guys. Just, we hear about all this stuff, and this is where we are at the moment. Is we hear about everything, right? We hear about the seed under the tongue and the copper and the banking system, and we're all owed money, and you can beat the legal system this way, and but what we need is proof. We need to start getting out and doing stuff, and this is a good way, just with experiments. You can try the seeds, you can try some copper in your seedlings, you can try different types of waters. Just experiment and record it and see what goes down, see what happens.
Right? The real scientific method that anybody can use, reproduce, and try, and that this is how we're going to advance, and that we can all advance and try and participate, as opposed to just stories and hopes and whims and conspiracies of, well, put your faith into this. Don't actually do anything except, divide and conquer and argue with everybody else that your faith and your belief in which conspiracy is going to happen is what's going to happen. But don't do anything yourself, and just wait for the change. No, thank you. We are all the change. We all have the power to make and improve our lives and the world.
Dude, I got a new couch and I was going to order Netflix, and now you're going to tell me I've got to get off my ass and do something. The Savior's not coming to save me. I thought the sky was going to open up. Jesus was going to come down in a UFO and hand me money from the Sahara Jassara. Bloody hell. You've ruined my life.
I'm sorry.
Now I'm going to have to do it all myself.
We're waiting for the future grays, the future gray humans to come back in their time bubbles to come take our gerbs. They took our gerbs.
He took my gerb. Yeah. But I mean, of course, we are the future humans, right? And all we're really doing, all this learning, it's really just remembering, right? We're just putting the story back together. Our story, right? Not his story. One love, Brian. How you going? Welcome. Mystery. My story. Yeah, what is it, right? His story, our story, or my story? There's some kind of poem there. It's not his story. Our story. I have to work on that and record it in a sexy voice and put it on OnlyCams. And you can join for just a subscription of $2 a month. What do you reckon?
Exactly.
You can come over and see me point out different countries on maps in a sexy voice. I can say, look, there's Friesland. And over there is Brazil. And right down there is the map of Tassie. Well, thank you very much.
I got. Oops. That's not the one.
No,
sorry.
Thank you, Elvie. Where'd you go, Elvie? I want a half cap decaf, cap adaptive, decaf, cap, and a calf met with a twist of lemon.
Lemon is good.
How did we get onto Pete? How did we get onto you, Ryan? You all right?
It always turns into that for some reason. The urine therapy.
And is it better to drink it when Uranus is in phase or whatever it does? Is that the time to drink urine under Uranus?
That is actually a decent question right there. What, is your urine and Uranus tied to one?
We can all go out and pee into the air under the moonlight and catch it again in our house. There's like a what are those systems called that never stop running? Perpetual motion, man. It's a perpetual motion. It's a perpetual motion.
That's good. Oh, speaking of which, actually, I found a little one perpetual motion magnet magnet pendulum builds that could be legit that we can play here in a minute. I'll get it loaded. First, I was going to play a little clip from when I appeared on Tesla Tech yesterday, and Steve Ellswick, the owner and runner of it, starts talking about the EM fields with growing plants, if that's all right.
Sure. Let's have a look. I've got time. I've got about 20 minutes left.
Perfect. Hopefully this is the right spot.
And they want to go ahead and build it themselves, okay? But the government wouldn't. Like I say, we still haven't fully. One of our new anti-aircraft, very
efficient, our energy generation more efficient, and the technologies, especially with like the structured waters, the magnetic waters, the colloidal waters into growing, and the field forces into growing, where crops are turning out 3 to 4 times the size and off of less energy that there would be enough for everybody within like 5 to 10 years, and we wouldn't have to go down this destructive path anymore.
Well, I think there's more than just that going on too, because like at one time, wars could be fought over resources and everything, but this war we have now isn't even about resources; it's about a personality, and one guy's vision of what he thinks should be, and I'm thinking, you're looking at these hypersonic missiles they're developing. That's supposed to be the end all or whatever. Well, I don't know if you watched Stargate, okay? Anyway, I'm going to give away the ending here, but so spoiler alert if you never watched Stargate. But at the end there, they sent that nuclear bomb up through one of those portals, those transmitters,
Yeah.
And so what happened, to me, I was saying, well, we have all these missiles and everything, we have all these anti-missile defenses, but what happens when we have these?
Nature itself is creating these portals, so biology and matter.
Wow. There's just so much going on, so much we need to look into, and there's so many avenues we could take, and maybe all these stargates and everything might be the solution to our energy problems too,
Copper, zinc, and still able to grow. Gold, and how like the demigods used.
Actually, but we used to get our magnetite from him, and that magnetite, you take and sprinkle it in your plants and that, and you have super growth, and so that was definitely effective. And when they were first come out with colored TVs and that, and one of the things that highlighted the dangers of the radiation coming off the colored TVs was the fact that they grew soybean plants placed in front of the TVs, and the radiation attracted the leafy part and pushed away the root part. So had kind of a Z plant there. So that's what they found, would happen, when you expose these to different radiations and that, so the green plants is part of the plant, it's the part that's always attracting the energy and converted it. So.
Right. And like those are old experiments, and it's like if that was adopted like 20-30 years into agriculture, imagine how much better things would be now. But instead it's like companies like Monsanto have the monopoly on it, and they're putting poisons and toxins genetically modified into the food to kill the pests. But it's like, what are those toxins doing to us? Like, there's so many other ways out there to like secure the food, and like it boggles the mind, really.
Well, they have no care for us. They don't care for people. Like, all these artificial sugars there, like saccharin and
aspartame. Aspartame is the other one.
They're based on nerve agents, okay? and the nerve agents, are sweet. So you're going from one poison, the sugars.
Oh,
So I just
bit rude.
wanted to show that part. Finally find it there. So that's Steve Ellswick, amazing individual. He's run the Tesla Tech conferences for like 3 decades there, and it's all sorts of holistic healings, over unity devices, free energy, and all of that. And often I play different lectures and presentations from his YouTube channel of past presenters. So hopefully I will be presenting at next year's Tesla Tech, as I've now connected with Steve, and I'm going to be getting Mike and Michael Boyd on with him soon as well. Anywho, the key parts was that even TV radiation, the plant's green leaves will grow closer to that EM radiation, and the roots actually grow away from it, he was saying, and that these were studies even done in the 70s and 80s about EM radiation affecting plants, but that there's certain energies that increase it and certain that poison it. And then also at the end there, where he was talking about like aspartame and the other artificial sweeteners, that they were actually chemicals, carcinogens that were used were from the weapons chemical programs that then somehow they noticed they were sweet and turned them into artificial sugars used in our foods when originally they were chemical weapons, and that they're these carcinogenic fake chemicals.
Yeah, an ant killer as well, wasn't it? A spider-man? Ant killer or something?
Yeah.
Ant poison?
Just ridiculous.
Sweet. It is. But I mean, at this point, it's kind of our choice too. We know all that crap, so we just have to make different choices, right? Because if no one buys their crap, it's going to just disappear, right?
Very true, and that's it. Like, that's a key point, Campbell, is that the only democracy left in the West is how you vote by where you spend your dollars, and that it's the capitalistic voting, and you have to be self-conscious, extremely conscious of what you're buying, what you're putting into your body, what you're ingesting yourself, and what you're supporting with your purchasing power.
Indeed. So support your local businesses and farmers markets, guys. Don't go shopping at big BlackRock businesses. All right, who we got here? Any interesting? Spend real cash, freedom currency, not PayWave. What's PayWave? Is that like cards? And that's the other thing, is using cash. Yeah, is better than using the card. And one reason is every time you use your card, you're being tracked. They're tracking where you're going, what you're doing, what you're spending your money on, what you're buying.
Right.
And really, it's more to sell you more crap than nefarious at this point, for the average person. But that's all it is, rather. Yeah.
And they're trying to switch it over, especially in Europe. These digital CDCs, which are a little different than crypto. Although they're digital currency, the government issued cryptocurrency. They literally will have control of it in your bank account, where it's like, oh, you have your money, but there's an energy issue right now, so you're not allowed to purchase these items because they're bad for the environment or the energy, or we need the resources elsewhere, or it's food rationing, so you're only allowed to spend $100 a month on this food or something like that. Just giving hypotheticals, but
they're already doing it. I heard in America they went through, I can't remember what state it was, but the IRS went through and they were looking at accounts where, I think they were just accounts where people were just, trading in that and making money. And basically they couldn't prove every single trade they did to make the money. And so the IRS just sort of went, well, we're just going to take it. And they just went around and this were just emptying these different accounts because they said, well, you know, you can't prove where it came from. Not that the IRS can prove anything, so it's happening. So another good thing is all these QR codes. One thing you can do is take photos of them and send them to friends in different countries and get them to scan in and get them to do it. So we just start scanning in all over the world and mess up their whole system. But also a black marker, one tiny little dot in one of those QR codes, and it doesn't work. So you can just walk up and as you go past, just go dink, and it won't work anymore. They'll have to get it all changed. And if we keep doing that, they're just going to give up.
Exactly. Right.
Not that
you gotta
I'm asking you to say anyone do that, of course. This is just a in fact,
and
obey
like
the law.
that.
Be good. Be good to your
Never
mother. Stay
ever
home.
agree
Drink
to
lots of
like
water.
get chipped or be part of that, like the in your on your body smart chip or anything like that, because once it goes there, it's game over.
This
And
is the thing. We know that one thing they never do is roll things back, right? They instigate them, but they never roll them back. I mean, income tax, right? Perfect example. That was brought out in World War One because
yeah,
you know the governments
right?
needed more money, so they asked the people to support just for the war, just support us so we can get through.
Just
You
for
know,
the
so we still
war, it
got a
was
country.
supposed
And
to
then
be.
100 years later, it's now up to what 60-70% in a lot of countries. It's mad.
Indeed. Very
And the
true.
masks as well. You know, so many people were just sort of like, oh well, I'll just wear the mask because I don't want to cause a scene. I want to make people feel bad and right. But look what's happened now. There's people out there still who will not take them off. They're too scared to go out without a mask now. There's still places in WA, a lot of the doctor's surgeries and that and hospitals, you still got to wear them. And that's because people, you know, agreed with it. Basically, if you didn't say, no, this is wrong, I'm not doing it, then you agreed with it. And this is the thing. If you don't want it, you can't agree with it in any way, shape or form. You've got to just go the other way and do your own thing and be an errant, man. Be an errant. Yes, Stephanie. Kiss my ass. I wear no mask. Fine.
Sorry,
Cats
was
apart
on
crazy people.
But
They
right,
are
and it's
crazy
like
people. Talking about
the trauma that
crazy
it put on all
cats.
the kids as well, like that it's indoctrinated the fear into all the like school children and all of that, like hiding the faces and it becoming the new normal, like the psychological effects. It's crazy. It really is. And like nowadays, COVID's pretty much like completely over where I am, like where the festivals are going on, like gatherings, everything's fully open, and you'll still see about 10 to 20% of the population wearing masks, just walking by themselves outside, no one around, covering their faces, or like in their cars driving by themselves with the masks on. And it's like, what are you
And putting them on
doing?
their kids.
And it shows
Kids.
the fear. Like,
And apparently you can paint your face to throw off facial recognition. There's actually some videos out, but apparently the trick is you have to do like sharp lines and corners, like you know, squares and columns and things, sort of geometric shapes. But yeah, apparently so. But I mean, then you've also got to walk around with squares on your
but
face.
also maybe leveling up, you know, like building like dimples up and like layering sort of thing where you're adding structure to the face, I think also probably. And of course you'd have to have your eyes covered from the retinal scans too.
Just wear a mask. Isn't that weird? They're bringing in like facial recognition while they're trying to get everyone to wear masks. Like, how's that work?
Indeed.
And it's just so retarded. Did you see your valiant leader, Mr. Castro, on the plane with that New Zealand witch. What's her name? Jacinda, arch enemy.
No,
and they're on True Castro. He's got his own private jet that he flew to the Queen's funeral. So they're on that, and they're sitting down, and there's a table. It's like sitting in a dining room. Like they got this. They're in a private jet, but it's a big table, and they're both on each side, and they got their masks on, and they're sitting there, and like Mr. Castro takes off his mask and talks, blah 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 blah, and then puts it back on.
Oh my God!
Enemy takes it off and goes blah 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 blah, and puts it back on, and they just keep doing it. It's the weirdest clip. It's just clown world, man. They're freaks.
It really is.
And not to mention they're on a private jet, so they didn't need to wear.
Yeah, like $100 million jet with like just ridiculous, probably.
But we also know, like as soon as the cameras went off, they would have, both ripped their masks off. And apparently, the delegate from Japan that went to the Lizard Queen's funeral, he got in there and threw a hissy fit and made all the staff in the hotel wear masks because he was losing it. And they all complied. And then he got to the funeral and no one was wearing a mask, so he just took his off. These people, they're seriously mentally deranged, man. They're just mental. Choose your side. And the choice isn't very hard at the moment, that's for sure. Oh, gosh. Sorry. Police chasing crazy people without masks down the road. The virus doesn't attack when... Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, didn't you know that, Coriander? While you're eating or talking or drinking doesn't work, but while you're lining up to go into the restaurant, man, it goes for people. It goes for people. I tell you. Oh, do you know? Maybe that's it, right? Maybe it's just after attention. Maybe the poor little via us he just wants attention. That's why every time that there's a camera rolling, people have to put the things on their faces, right, to stop it, because it's there. It's like cameras. I'm getting on there. I'm making a TikTok. Let me on. And so that's why that makes sense, right? That's why they only wear them on camera. I think I've cracked it. What do you reckon? And maybe it's the same, via us that President Brandon's shaking hands with all the time. He can see it, but we can't. Maybe he's got those red glasses on where you see demons. Who knows? What do you think? Oh, that's a bit... Oh. God. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that, Tom. I don't speak to those people, but I can imagine it wouldn't smell too good if you're rebreathing your own carbon dioxide and the stuff your body's trying to get out of it all day. That can't be good. Oh, not this one, Dave. I made a video putting my granddaughter's... I hope it was a clean one looking. At one leg ponytail, the other. Nice. They're just people. We should pray for them. Yeah, well, I mean...
At the end of the day, pray for all souls.
They all started off as people. They're it depends how high you got up the ladder, and I have views on that. But most of them are just very damaged, people. But of course, they're chosen, which makes them controllable. And then above them are the ones that are controlling. But
exactly, and how many of them have been possessed by like these parasitic, like demonic entities that they've kind of let take over themselves? They're not even conscious of their existence within. Like there's the devil and the angel within all of us. Which one do you feed? And that at a certain point you give up so much for power and control and greed that you've just lost it, and you don't realize you're no longer consciously thinking of your decisions, and that you will act for anything, and that it's this other demonic potential parasitic entity that is controlling those drives and those actions within.
And yeah, well, you give into it, and the more you do, then obviously the more you go down. But there's people watching. This is the other thing, is there's people watching, because they know the more you listen to those voices, the more they can get you to do for them. And that's when that's the real sort of where it gets sort of nasty. But yeah, there's everything's your focus. We get, that's again, it's all choice, right? We get to choose. We get to, you can have a really bad morning and everything can go wrong, and you can, just decide, okay, well, that's it. The whole day is going to be crap. Clearly, it's all going to be shit, and you can just have a really bad day, and you will. Or you can go, oh, I'm glad I got all that crap out of the way. Now it's going to be, obviously, it's all gone. Now it's going to be a perfect day. There's two ways to look at everything, and what you believe is what you're going to achieve ultimately.
The law of attraction, right? The manifestation of your reality and what's around you. And the power of projection. It's not placebo. It's literally mind over matter. And that and it's also physics. You will build inertia. The more that you wake up with that drive, that positivity, you're working, you're willing it into reality, and you keep doing it. After that 30 days, that law of attraction, you're building the inertia of your success, of your moving forward, of you going forward, and then you start believing it because you start seeing it, and you start seeing the results, and you keep projecting it, and then you're attracting more of that same into you, and before you know it, you're in unstoppable motion, like the autodidactic alchemist right here.
It's just spiraling up. Come on. God, I'm sitting there
going
up.
Exactly. So there we go. The spiraling up.
That's exactly what the whole spiral up is. We always prove ourselves right. If you go, oh, the day is shit, and you walk out and you're like grumpling, then people aren't, they're not going to be smiling at you. You're going to go to the shop and go, oh, that girl was so rude. See, and then you're going to kick something.
You're barking at
you're creating
everyone.
that.
They're going to bark back.
Exactly. And you're going to prove yourself right and go down, or you can go out and go, oh, it's all the crap's over. So I'm and then you're happy. You smile at someone, they smile. You prove yourself right. I'll see, it is getting better. Then the girl at the checkouts gives you a compliment. I'll see, I am right, and then you spiral up, and that's it, man.
That's
it.
Bang on it. 100%.
That is put that as a
spiraling up.
Spiral up, I think.
It's a vicious circle if you're going to spiral down and you want to play the pity party and believe that nothing's ever going to get better and that you are cursed. Well, you're going to curse yourself and you are going to spiral down. Or you can do the opposite, believe in yourself, believe in a better future and a better day, and literally spiral up. And that's exactly it. For those that don't know of Cambell's third channel, Spiral Up, it is all about the mentality and the metaphysics of the conscious choices of building your better world, future, mental health, and spiraling up.
Spiraling up, indeed. It's all just a choice, guys, and that's what we all have, right? Thing that no one can ever take away from you is choice. And people will argue, what if there's a gun put to my head? I've still got a choice. Always got choice.
What was the choice that got you to having that gun on your head? And are you gonna know that your soul is eternal and take a karmatic hit, or death before dishonor because, hey, well, it's the end, because who the heck is forcing that? And are you going to be willing to take a gun and put it to someone else's head because you've got a gun to yours? Or are you going to accept that you will not succumb to that devil, that demon, and becoming a demon yourself?
I used to always wonder when I was little, and you'd hear people say, oh, I'd die before that, and soldiers and that, and I think, really? Really? But when you get older, I think you start to understand that there's definitely a lot of things out there that people may want you to do that, much better to take the other option, right? Even if there's a gun to your head. You know, it's like how to win the war, right? Not the West. It's a bit of a morbid topic, but what we're saying is you've always got choice. Don't let anyone ever take it away from you. Always stand in your power.
Exactly.
And if you do that and you do have a gun to your head, chances are that you'll get out of it because you've got that belief, which is your energy field and your informed field, and that will affect the field that you're interacting with, which is what we call reality.
Indeed. And right, like exactly that. And inversely, if you're gonna succumb to that weak cop out of, oh, I have that blackmail over me, it's like when you feed a blackmailer, they don't just go away. It's, oh, they gave in, so they're gonna ask for more again and again and again, right? Like you can't negotiate with terrorists or with kidnappers, right? Like once you pay the bribe, they're going to expect more, and you just keep selling your soul over and over again, and then you're too deep to fight it, and you become the demon yourself. And yeah, you spiral up, not down, and it's your conscious choice. Only your free will can make that choice.
Same with taxes, cars, insurance, all this stuff that we all agree to. There may be a better way. There may be different choices we can take. So it's, oh my God, it's 20-3. How did that happen? What? I'm sure it was like literally 5 minutes ago when I said I've got another half an hour. And apparently it was like 37 minutes ago.
And now we're at 2 hours, 22 minutes, and exactly 22 seconds right now. But 2.
Okay, stop. We could have stopped. Oh God, we're too late. So yeah, I've got to get going because I've got some meetings coming up. So thank you for everyone joining us. Are you going to stay, Ben, or are we going to finish, or what are we doing?
Yeah, I should get going too. It's a bit late here already, almost 1 a.m.
You probably need some more
in Calgary, Alberta.
Yes.
Let's see Only Cams one more time. Let's see that website project coming up. Only Cams with Cam.
Gosh, okay, guys. Share it around. It's going to be the biggest new website in the whole interwebs.
Look at that tattoo sleeve you got, Cambell.
Yeah, I know, right? You didn't know I had tats, did you? Yeah, I just got that done the other day.
Not.
Mainly for the picture. I thought it'd make me look a bit sexier. So, yeah, there you go.
Beautiful.
Oh, what am I doing? Get rid of it. Oh, my God. It's staring at me. There we go. And yes, so we're going to be back tomorrow. Gosh, am I ever off this camera? With Paul Cook. We're going to be talking more Maltese star forts and geopolymers. What's making this realm up? And Thursday I'll be back again. Tartar Australia. Friday I'll be back again with an interview. And Saturday we may be back again with. So, all you need to do, guys, is just blink and I'll be back. Basically, just leave the internet, tune to this channel, walk away. When you hear noise, sit down because I'll be talking again, and that's how we do it, I think.
Right? It's going to involve that only Cams. You're going to be able to see Cambell sleeping for 8 hours, 10 hours a day, and then when he wakes up, there'll be special guests waiting constantly.
Exactly.
Autodidactic.
Right. That's all you see from now on, guys. Just me. Only Cams. All right, I do have to get going. So thank you guys for spending some time with us and being amazing as always. Much love to you all. Keep the vibes high. Remember, we win. So don't ever give in to that nasty fear stuff. And we'll be back tomorrow. Alchemist,
spiral up.
Alchemical Times, and Alchemical Channel. And don't forget to check out Spiral Up. And of course, up to Only Cam.
Indeed. So 24 hours from now, we will be back with Paul Cook.
We will. 24 hours. Stay awesome.